Don't hate me, but these are worth it. I'm gonna be sharing with you my 5 most used luxury makeup products in 2025 that for me was worth every single penny spent on them. And it was a lot of pennies. A lot. I've become more picky about luxury makeup that I find worth it nowadays, as I feel like labs have really mastered phenomenal formulations across all price points to where I feel like for what you pay for luxury makeup, it doesn't really match up with the price difference from the next tier below, you know what I mean? So in my opinion, these products that I'm mentioning in today's video cannot be matched by a lower price point product. If you are a regular watcher of mine, expect no surprises. I don't gatekeep. I've talked about these products plenty on my channel. I used to be a mostly exclusive luxury makeup channel until I simply reached a point where I felt like the luxe price point wasn't worth it anymore. So I know specifically what I'm looking for in this price point, and these products, they've got it. Oh, also jewelry. I have added on to my Ideal stacks, gotten some new pieces. A huge thank you to Ideal for sponsoring this portion of today's video. They are going to be the jewelry that you see me wearing throughout today's video is all from Ideal. Ideal creates unique, modular, high-quality lab-grown diamond pieces, beautifully handcrafted in Antwerp, Belgium. I know a lot of you guys are fans of their pieces, and I've also seen a lot of celebrity wearing their pieces that I've used for inspo with how I've created and built my stacks. This is a company who puts quality first with hand-selected top 1% of lab-grown diamonds. Known for their modular collection featuring add-on pieces you build and customize from there, which will give you multiple ways to wear and style them. So I've had a lot of fun building and curating my Ideal collection over the last few months. I've updated you as we've gotten more pieces in. It's one of those things where I have to be thoughtful about, as these are lifelong pieces that I will be getting so much use out of because of the modular system. So I want to show you what I got and what I'm wearing. So first thing, the earring. The new piece that I got is the Cocoa, which I've already showed you before, but I had just gotten one of them to use as a necklace, but I thought that these would make the prettiest earrings, so I got another Cocoa and I attached it to my diamond stud as with the Ideal system. And so now I have these beautiful dangly earrings, which I think is going to look stunning if you have your hair up like this for really elegant looks. So I'm excited. I loved it as a necklace, and I was like, I bet you these would look so cute as earrings too. So really love this. And then I decided to add another chain. The great thing about their gold chains is that you can customize the length. They have a few different options. So the first piece that I got was the Thea, which this one you can purchase with the chain or without the chain. And I have this setting on a little bit of a longer necklace. And then for my shorter necklace, I wanted something really simple, just a nice shiny diamond. This is the Lola. So this one I got with the chain, and with the 2 different settings of length, I feel like it created a really beautiful layered stack. And some other beautiful pieces that I've collected over the last few months were the jade. I really love that for earrings if you like a stud but want something different. The Eris, really beautiful both on a necklace and an earring. And then Lucia if you want something a little bit more different and fun. I just love the dangly pieces, so the Nell one is really nice as well. So I'll have all of those linked down below for you guys. When you purchase from Ideal, you get the whole luxury experience with elegant packaging and handwritten notes. They also offer free shippings and returns, great 24/7 live assistance, and a luxury unboxing experience with lots of free gift options as well. So those are the shinies you're gonna see throughout the video. Let's go ahead and get into the luxury makeup now. If you are a regular tuned in viewer of mine, just so you know, there are no surprises in this video. I don't gatekeep anything. Okay? If I love it, you're gonna hear about it, and I'll mention it in a billion videos if I have to. And if you're new here, boy, are you in for a treat for these products. So the first most used luxury product of the year is the Chantecaille Sheer Glow Rose Face Tint. From the moment that this touched my face a couple years ago, I have not been able to stop talking about it. I have even finished a full one up, which is quite the feat for me since I don't wear the same things every day since I review products for a living. It always hurts me to say that the cost of this is $86. So you know I've got to love it if I'm saying it is worth every penny at full price. This is a luminous gel cream that instantly blurs and perfects the complexion for a healthy looking glow, and as in typical Chantecaille fashion, it's boosted with powerful botanics that are going to moisturize and smooth the skin for a radiant, fresh look. It is important to note that I do have a dry skin type, and I love this product, especially in the winter, because honestly, Chantecaille's specialty is more so skincare than it is makeup. And this is a beautiful hybrid product where you get the best of both worlds. I mean, you can just use this as skincare if you want. This is a product, you know, that can be used on its own. Pilling is my brow gel. Ignore that. That got on my skin. But I'm just going to put it on half, and you can see the instant glow that this gives the skin. So obviously it is absolutely stunning on its own. And the name of it being the Sheer Glow Rose Face Tint, that is exactly what it gives, a sheer, glowy, rosy tint to the skin. Gives so much juice and hydration. You get, I mean, the most luxurious of all skincare items, of all moisturizers. And a lot of moisturizers break me out. That's the product that gives my skin acne most of the time, is going to be moisturizers. Of course, this one doesn't, and it shouldn't. It is that Chantecaille skincare formulation and the Chantecaille ingredients. But very rarely do you come across a skincare product that gives instant results. And if you have dry skin like me, this truly is the most beautiful base prior to makeup. If you want a healthy glow, if your skin is dry and you need the best quality of moisturizers. It's lightweight, it soaks into the skin because it's that gel consistency, and it doesn't disrupt any foundations, it doesn't cause any pilling, and this is the glow that it gives. I think it is a $90 glow, so best of the best, top of the line. You're paying a pretty price point for this, but I really do see the value in this product, and it continues to be multiple years in a row one of my most used bases. The next product I have is my most used luxury foundation this year. And I mean, I'm talking even off camera. I'm reaching for this foundation because it is just so easy, so mess-free. I know it's gonna last a long time, and I know it's gonna make my skin look fantastic. This is the Dior Forever Skin Perfect Foundation Stick. This is a $57 foundation. I use the shade 2N, and this multi-use foundation stick delivers a natural finish, 24-hour coverage, and all-day hydration. And foundation sticks can be intimidating because sometimes you'll find that they don't blend out onto the skin very easily. You might have to use some elbow grease to blend a product out. You won't notice a difference. This is not hard to blend out at all. It's mess-free because you literally just draw on your face, and you can even see how smooth this looks on the skin. I'm going to use a BK Beauty 109 brush. Look at this. I'm barely doing anything, and it is just blending out. And this is the reason why it continues to be, I want to say, off camera, when I'm going for foundation, I want medium to full coverage. This is a foundation that I go for because how quick and easy it is to apply and mess-free. Of course, it's also a go-to for travel because it's, one, not a liquid, so it's not going to make a mess. And then in the mornings when you're getting ready, you're just able to quickly throw this on. And with it being a stick, even though you can get medium buildable coverage with this, if you just apply a couple small stripes on the face, you can get really light, natural coverage with this. And the finish of it, it's like skin in a stick. Very perfected and smooth skin in a stick. And then paired over top, just saying, with the Chantecaille Rose Glow Face Tint, this also gives such a healthy radiance to the skin. So you can see side by side, HD, no filters. You know the drill, what this does to my skin. So let's do a quick little here. You can also layer on top of areas that you might have some additional acne. It's just everything I would want in a foundation stick. And I have to say, if I, didn't do what I did for a living and needed to test all of the new and now and all of that, this would 100% be probably my everyday foundation. It is worth that price point, especially if you're going to be able to get good use out of it on the daily, which I really think you will, with how beautiful it is. In my opinion, worth every penny. The next product that I have is probably the most expensive concealer I have ever owned, and unfortunately, it is worth it. This is the Westman Atelier Vital Skincare Brightening Concealer with Hyaluronic Acid. That's just the name on Sephora, but I think it's just the Vital Skincare Concealer. This is $48 for this little old thing, and it is a precise full coverage concealer with serum strength actives on an airy matte finish that visibly brightens dark circles and firms. I'm going to show you exactly why I love this concealer and what I think makes it special, because it is unique to a lot of other concealers, most other concealers that I've tried. So this is thick. It's not a liquidy concealer at all, and normally thick is not really great for the under eyes because there's extra product to bunch into fine lines, especially, if you have more mature skin. I'm reaching my 30s here. Makeup doesn't sit the same as it used to. You can see I have some hollowing happening, but what is amazing about this concealer and its thickness is that it does fill in the hollowing of the under eyes. So it kind of pushes that area forward and fills that in ever so subtly, of course. This is not plastic surgery, but you can also see that this gave full coverage, but it's not drying. They say online that it has a matte finish. I really don't agree with that. It's soft. It's a soft, natural, somewhat matte finish, but there's no glow to it at all, but it's still is hydrating at the same time. I don't know how they did it, and that's how it should be with a product of this price point from such a luxurious brand. I shouldn't know how they are able to do it, because we're paying an arm and a leg. We're paying $50 for this concealer, and not only is it a thicker consistency, but you can see that it did blend out very easily. I used an A506 from BK Beauty to blend that out. Like, look at that. And then not only that, but once you set it, it really doesn't travel too much, obviously within reason. This is the landscape of our face here. We have what we have, but I feel like it handles those fine lines really well and doesn't sink into them too much. I mean, just look at this. I think this is a phenomenal concealer for mature skin, especially if you do have a lot of discoloration, because it's true. The trick is less is more for the under eyes when it comes to product. But then a lot of times you are giving up that color correction. So, you might have some darkness peeking through, but with this, you get the best of both worlds. You get that thicker consistency. If you have some hollowing, you get that full coverage, but you still get those skincare benefits, and it just handles wear really well. So, ever since I tried this, I cannot put it down. I believe it was this year that I tried this concealer. So this one has not been in my routine for more than a year, but ever since it's entered, I mean, it's probably the best, I would say, concealer I've tried this year, for sure. I mean, I had tried a couple good concealers, but you can also supplement this in other areas on the face. It does have that really nice blend, the really nice color. I'm just gonna take like a touch here on my cheeks, and it will blend right in, especially on the nose. If you are somebody who notices foundation comes off on the nose very easily, this is a concealer that will add that coverage to the nose, and it's not going to fall off. So I'm just quickly gonna lightly put some of that product, whatever's left on my brush, all over my eyelids so that we can even things out. If the features of this sound right up your alley, definitely recommend it. It was one of my most used and reliable concealers this year, and you get that very luxurious, heavy packaging. This product is another product where I'm just like, it is worth every penny, and it's not a product that I typically like. So I've managed to collect just about every shade that they have. They did just launch a new shade, but these are the Dior Forever Glow Maximizer Longwear Liquid Highlighters, and I hate liquid highlighters. It is a product that I just cannot get behind. But Dior did it right, and then some, to the point where I have shades that you wouldn't even think would work for me that I make work for me. So these babies are $48 each. We know Dior is a very expensive luxury house, and they say that this is a multi-use liquid highlighter that brightens and enhances the complexion with an instant and long-lasting glow, and it truly does give a radiant finish. And as somebody who hates liquid highlighters, I'm telling you, I even love this as a liquid highlighter. So my favorite shades, what I use the most, I actually bought Rosy for myself, which I use as a blush. That's how pretty the glow is. And then I'll mix on the top of my cheek some of pink for the prettiest pink cheek. I'll also use Peachy as a blush. It's a little bit lighter than that Rosy shade. And then Nude is a gorgeous highlighter to pair with that. Pearly, Gold, Nude, Pink, Peachy, Rosy, and Bronze. So let's play around a little bit. I did just pop on, this is new from Dior, their Forever Skin Bronze, which is nice and warm. I'm going to do just a touch of the bronze shade. This is not the best shade on my skin tone, obviously not meant for my skin tone, but I do like it for a little bit of a something. So I'm just going to put just a little bit, and it'll add some more warmth to the face and also add a little bit more glow. Probably could do a little bit more than that though. But I really want to highlight the blush shades, but this will add some more depth to the cheek area here since that bronzer is very warm. So this will give us some more chiseling. Really beautiful. With whatever's left, I'm putting it on the outskirts of the face. And I know Rosy is my favorite, but I've demoed that one so much, the Rosy and the Pink duo. So we'll go a little bit more peach today. I want to show you the peachy color as a blush on me. These give the prettiest glow to the cheeks. So I'm just going to press this in. This never ever disrupts my foundation underneath. Now today, since I'm just doing my makeup properly, I don't have any powder, but there have been times where I've had to put this product over top of powder and it's worked out just fine. I mean, I have that Dior foundation, the Dior bronzer, and now the Dior highlighter going on right now, so my skin is just looking the best it can ever look. Look how pretty this is. And like I said, on me, the Rosy does give more color, and even though this is a highlighter, it's not metallic. It's just radiant, and you can always mix in with a cream that has more of a solid base if you want more base color, but I kind of like how natural this looks on the face. Or you can set with a powder. So I'm just going to do a little bit of that. And then for highlight, I'm debating, I think we'll go with Nude, and I'm just going to layer that more on the high points of my face. And this is the step of makeup I normally hate. I find liquid highlighter always just emphasizes texture, doesn't sit quite right on the skin. I'd rather just use a powder highlighter, but look at how this melts into the skin, and it gives a radiance. Nothing super metallic, which is not always a bad thing, but I mean, this glow is so unique. It's so fresh, so angelic. There is not another liquid, glowy, radiant product on the market that has this finish. Like, to me, this is an undupable product, making it worth every single penny. This is what I'm paying for. This is what I'm looking for when it comes to luxury makeup. So if you want radiant, angelic glow, I still, a couple years later after getting into these, cannot put them down. All right, guys, this next item I've talked about so much on my channel that at this point I've begun to skim past it, but I do want to make a mention because it is a $94 item that I personally think is worth every penny, like one palette every other year or so, or one palette every year. But I will always have an Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palette in my collection. They launch new ones every single year. This year, my favorite one that launched was the Swan palette. They still have some of them left if you're on the market, but this is the best powder formula for the face in the entire world. Period. Cannot be duped. And I specifically recommend these palettes because it has their best formulas. And it's a multi-face palette. You use it for blush, bronzer, highlight, setting, all of that. This has it all. These powders give you an hourglass filter is what I call them, that cannot be duped by any other brand. When you go out into the sun, it's really about how it hits the skin. So I'm just going to show you how I use it. I mean, I know I have all of my base color products on, so I'm going to do it lightly, but here's how I like to use these. So I'm going to take just a little bit of the bronzer since I already have a cream bronzer. Like I said, the Swan one was my favorite for my skin tone this year, but they launch new ones every single year depending on when you're watching this. They also sell the powders individually, but honestly, I don't buy the individual colors because I get my fix with these palettes. So the bronzer I'm just using to set, but I would go a little bit more heavy-handed if I didn't have that cream bronzer on already. And as you can see, none of these powders are matte. So they give a really pretty glow that doesn't emphasize texture. And then I'm going to go in for the peachy blush today because I'm going peachy for today's look. You guys, how pretty is this? I know it's hard to tell because it's not the only thing on my face, but again, that glow, really youthful. This is like the powder version of the Dior. So that's why I like both of them. It is no coincidence. They give very similar finishes on the face. And then of course there's also a highlighter here, which is this one right here. I'm just gonna do a little bit. This gives a little bit more oomph than the Dior liquid. The Dior liquid is more natural, but if you just use a light hand in the brush, you'll get a really natural, gorgeous glow. And then the final best thing about the Hourglass formulas and the most unique are the finishing powders. So this is in the shade Dim Light. And I take the biggest, fluffiest brush, and this is how I finish off my complexion. This is that final filter for the face. It just blurs everything in together, particularly if your bronzer, blush, and highlight aren't blended well into one another. This acts as a veil over it to make it look as smooth as possible. And when you go out into the sun, you'll see how this acts as that veil. And with this formula, I don't use it to set. Use your normal powders that you set with. This is a finishing powder. When you're done with your complexion, just go through, put that Hourglass angelic veil all over the skin, big fluffy brush, nothing too dense, and you're welcome. That's all I have to say. The best powders, $94, but you're set for the next year or two with these, and they are the best quality. So, of course, that had to be it. And that is the fifth item. Now, it did not go past me that those were all complexion. I just think when it comes to luxury, complexion is where the luxury is worth it, where there's an actual gap in quality between high-end and luxury. However, I did want to give a bonus shout out to my favorite luxury eyeliner that I will always have in my collection that I've used all year. Eyeliners are one of those things where it's a category where I feel like you don't need to spend a luxury price point, but these were my most used, so we're giving them a special shout out. These are the Lace Stylo waterproof lasting eyeliner pencils. They have a huge range on Ulta of multiple pretty neutral shades, and then also like the ones that make eye colors pop, like navy, emerald, etc. These are $29, which are expensive for eyeliners, but when we're talking the complexion products, it doesn't seem so bad, does it? So I just have mine in the black and brown. So why I love these so much is they are very, very pigmented. They're very easy to work with. They don't have too much slip when applied, so you still have control, but you can still smudge blend them out as you please. And then when they set, they don't go anywhere. This passes the tight line test. So when I apply this on my tight line alone, so long as I don't blink prematurely, it doesn't really transfer to my waterline. So that's how you know it works really good, and it's just super easy to use. So I'm gonna use the brown shade today, and pencil liners have been it for me in 2025. I love pencil liners. So you can see really easy glide across the lash line, and then I can smudge it out if I want. I've been really into smudgy liner this year. So easy to use. We'll create a little baby wing. The millennial in me can't not. I just need it for that little bit of lift. But I've been able, this is so easy to use, I've been able to literally just draw on wings as I please. I love using this in the waterline and then blending it out with eyeshadow. Just blending this into my lashes. And an angled brush is always going to clean up this application. Just the best. It's been my favorite waterline, tight line, upper lash line pencil. It works exactly as I want it to use, has the perfect amount of slip slash not slip slash smudgeability, but also sets down and does not budge. So compared to the rest of these, it seems pretty cheap, but obviously $29 for a single eyeliner is not, but this is one of those luxury upper end quality product that I think is super duper worth it. So wanted to give this one a special shout out and make the video 6 products instead of 5, but it was my favorite luxury eye product this year that I just think is so worth it. And here is the final look using my most used luxurious products for the year. And of course, I think my makeup looks incredible. I will also have the other products that I'm wearing on my face that pair beautifully with what I already have on linked down below for you guys. And I hope you guys enjoy this. I mean, I take your money seriously. I don't want to recommend products, especially in the luxury price point, that you aren't absolutely going to love. That's the point of making my reviews, to lead you to a product that you are going to love and enjoy and get your money's worth out of. And these are ones that I feel as though I've gotten my money's worth out of, and I wanted to simplify it into a simple video for you, show you exactly how everything sits on my skin. So I hope that I could help you out with that. And again, a huge thank you to Ideal for sponsoring today's video. I will have the link down below to check out their website, as well as the pieces that I am wearing today and the pieces that I do already have in my collection with their modular system that you guys have seen me wearing often throughout my videos. Really beautiful, high quality pieces. Really happy to be working with a company like that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys had a good new year, and best of luck to you in the new year. Well wishes, all of that. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.
It's delicious.